Little 6-year-old boy named Teddy. He's gonna be part of our group.
Nikki always picks the best possible people to join your group.
Well, he makes it all cute, and I'm bringing him back to his bed or whatever, and he's like grabbing me. He's like, no, no. And then I give him his teddy, and he's like, no. And when I got the guy to agree that I can take the kid, he got his really ratted, like, tethered blankie, his teddy bear, and a picture of his mom and dad, who are not there because they died. Like,
What?
if you don't get this kid, I swear to God.
Anyway.
Don't make me cry, Mike.
It's not my intention. I just tell the story. I don't make it.
I swear to God, I will play. I'll just rage quit the kid. Done.
So, the sun has risen, and Lee, Teddy, and Natsu awaken in the inn, and you have all the sheets covering all the portraits and everything still, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Sheets covering the portraits?
Yep.
Oh.
Shady place. Do not trust anything they say.
Hilarious. They got the little thing where you move the people over and you...
Yep, mm-hmm.
Nothing machines, not making cup.
So you have awoken, and you could actually smell some food being prepared, probably downstairs.
I don't know if that's safe.
It smells so good!
It does.
Is that bacon? Smells like bacon!
Let's go pancakes?
I like bacon.
You know what bacon is, Daddy?
I haven't had bacon in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You see him kind of put his teddy bear, like, little paw in his mouth. He's just chewing on it.
What are you doing?
Playing.
I'm gonna give him a hug. Like, alright. Let's go get some breakfast.
You go downstairs, and in that, like, greeting room, there's a couple of tables set up. And you can see a couple of guards are in there, also eating. And that they've prepared a continental breakfast. And those two women are still there. Oh, good morning, boys. Good morning. We have a whole breakfast prepared for you.
Is other people eating this breakfast?
The guards are eating the breakfast.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna partake in breakfast.
Okay. Yeah, just eggs, bacon, some pancakes. None of them are anywhere near as good as Lee's.
Lee, this got nothing on your pancakes.
I know. These are crap. I prepared those myself. I mean, they're good. And he takes his plate and moves on.
Lee's the best pancake maker ever.
Oh, I'm sure all of you boys are very skilled.
Yeah, thanks.
As you guys sit to eat, you can kind of notice, just with your passive perception, that all these guards kind of keep glimpsing over at you three. Kind of curious as to why you have the little boy, but also just kind of taking note of what you're doing. You could gather all of them are eavesdropping because they're not having too much of their own conversation, just periodically glimpsing off their plate and over to you guys out of the corner of their eye.
But they are all eating.
They're all eating.
Okay. I'm gonna start eating. Not really saying one thing or another.
Okay. Lee makes small talk with you, and all the guards just kind of eat their food. And it's just, there's nothing wrong with the food, so you feel fine. And then Sven and Gilder, those two half-orcs, walk in. Roarwin is ready to meet with you.
You can be nice to us, jeez.
Sorry.
And I'm just gonna, like, punch his shoulder.
I had an accent for them.
Yeah, they were,
Sorry.
Yeah.
He is ready to meet with you when you are done eating.
Okay.
He has your friend ready for you.
Oh, it's great. We'll be there in like 5 minutes.
Excellent.
Finish eating. We packed up our stuff because we don't plan on coming back. gonna go.
Okay. You walk through the dusty town. You end up going to that fortress where they're already awaiting for you to come in. They let you right in. You enter into the grand hall. Let me just see if I have some appropriate music. Okay. So you enter into the fortress, you enter into the grand hall, and you actually do see Zane. Zane, you feel like you've been drowsy, and you're just waking up now. And you remember passing out on top of the bridge after your fight with the Beholder. But you're coming to in a very strange place. It's a very elaborate room. You see yourself, you're like sitting in a wheelchair, but you're strapped down. Your hands are strapped to the handrails, your feet are strapped to the little foot braces. And you could actually see Li Chang and Natsu walking in with a little boy. But surrounding this whole room, there's a whole bunch of guards. He's waiting for you from his wheelchair.
Hi, Zane!
You see probably about 20 different guards in this room. 2 more escorting in Li and Natsu. And up on the top of this small stairway, sitting on a throne, is it's called a Rakshasa. It's pretty much a feline humanoid. This one is actually a lion. So a lion humanoid with his hands inverted. So their hands are like this. Standing next to him is another strange humanoid. That this one is actually resembles that of a crane. He has a long katana on his back, and this is actually the first time you've seen him either, Natsu. But he looks very fierce, even just from a first glimpse of him. Zane, you are feeling a bit groggy, and you do notice that you are unarmed and that all of your potions and gold have been removed.
Still wearing the necklace that I made out of the smaller eyes of the beholder?
No, it's not on you. And as you walk in, Roarwin greets you. Natsu.
I'm just bow.
Your friend is doing much better. He has ceased having tantrums and fits in the night.
I see that, but why is he still trapped down? He looks fine.
You gotta show up to the party.
We do fear that his condition might worsen, so for his own protection we had him strapped down.
Oh. Zane, how you feeling?
Bullshit, get me out of this chair.
Very well.
I'm feeling cogent. Yeah, let's go. All my stuff.
A nurse comes up on each side of you, and they undo your bindings so you could stand. You do feel a bit weakened, but mostly you just feel groggy. They give you your backpack that has all of your items. The only thing that you're actually missing is your sword.
Hey! Hey, Zane, I got your sword. This is by the way. It's in my pack. I picked that up.
Oh, okay. I'm putting on the necklace. Alright.
Now, I understand.
Now my sword back. I was about to get very angry. I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. I can tell when you're missing your sword. I'm just gonna give him his sword back. Like, I know if I hold this too long, you'll be very upset, so here.
Now, I trust that you've had the night to sleep on it, and think if you guys would like to join our cause, and join our village as consults to the king. And he gestures to himself. Natsu, Li, and Zane, though I've only just met you, your brilliance in your arrival could not have been more perfect. I would request that you stay, and become the backbone of my kingdom.
That sounds like a lot of work.
Did you get all the knowledge that you needed to obtain from Zane and all of his about the bridge?
Yes.
Did you need anything else?
Zane was very informative during our questioning.
Hey, that's why I'm so groggy. You bitches drugged me.
No, I assure you, it's the effect only of the Beholder spell. And then a scientist from behind you, who you recognize as Matlock,
No, it's true. The beholder spell has this effect on your mind. It can also make you paranoid, so please be at ease.
I'm gonna roll for something to see if these guys are full of shit. Not sure.
Insight.
It depends what you want to roll. If you're rolling to see if they're lying to you, I'd say insight. If you're rolling to see what you know about beholder spells, to see if they actually have that kind of effect, that would be nature. What'd you roll?
11.
Okay. For which one? If they're lying.
Yeah.
Insight? You feel like they're telling the truth. Even the doctors and nurses are all nodding along with the scientists, so you feel like it's all legit.
Sounds great. What did I tell you? I don't remember a damn thing.
Nonetheless, your experience and your abilities to take down the beholder in itself, you would be a great asset to our kingdom. And the rebels, they would see not the end of this war until all of us lay slain. And you could leave, but that does not mean the trial is over.
How do you mean the trial?
Well, the war.
Sir, we are deeply honored, and we respectfully decline. We do have an immediate mission to complete at the moment, but hopefully our paths will cross again, and maybe then we can help.
I have to see my dad. He's really sick and he needs my help.
You've told me this before, and though your father's fate is most undesirable,
But we can save him, and that's what our mission is at the moment. It's under time restraint, so we really don't have much more time to discuss this. You said we could
I'm working
leave.
on this, get rich quick scheme and monkey wrench and all that.
Zane was kind enough to share about all the details of this illness Prince Stein has suffered from.
It's bullshit. I don't know what he's talking about.
And believe me, if there was anything you could do, I would release you and send you aid. But you are trying to thwart death, and that won't happen.
He's done it before. I've seen it. But we only have, another few months? Perhaps we'll cross paths again. But for now, we're going to bid you adieu respectively, and hopefully we'll cross paths again. And then, we can maybe revisit this.
I see. Zane, do you feel the same way? After our doctors had given you such elaborate care, do you wish to leave this place? You could live as a general.
It really just sounds like a lot of work.
Zane doesn't really like being in power.
I've kind of already signed on to this group, so we're gonna. Hey, thanks for the offer, though. Really appreciate it. I know you drugged me.
We had no choice but to drug you.
You lied to us.
It was only to
You lied to us!
to cure him of the beholder spell. We were forced to give him certain drugs that had side effects.
Sir, I know that they just wear off. I know a lot about beholders. I don't know why you're lying to us. But, like we said, we respectfully decline, and,
Does he speak against the king? Yes, he speaks against the king.
I'm respectfully declining because we have to save Lee's dad.
You hear a lot of murmuring all around the room.
He's declining the king. He's speaking against the king. He called him a liar. Liar? Blasphemer. Oh no.
Knew he was full of shit. We need to get out of here.
That's we did.
We're in a den of thieves and liars.
Okay.
All of you liars.
Excuse me? And Roarwin stands up.
Damn it.
You dare speak out against me? I, who have given you a home? Who have tended your wounds?
I just said we respectfully decline. That's all I said. We're gonna get going. It was very nice to meet you, sir. Hopefully we'll cross paths again, and hopefully we'll be able to help you with another situation that you may have. I am nothing but respectful and honorful of any person I meet.
Can you roll diplomacy?
Sure. 9.
Though you do not come off in such a way, I understand, as a boy, how you mean to carry yourself. And perhaps when you have become a man, you will know more so to join my cabinet. But before you go, I would like for you to come outside and watch the celebration as we commence with draining the lake.
That sounds lovely.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go. We'll talk later. Let's just.
They pretty much start filing outside to
I'm
the
gonna put
town
Teddy on my
square.
shoulder. On my shoulders.
Okay. But you guys are kind of trailing, so you have the opportunity to talk to each other. You know, there is like guards kind of in tow, and you could gather they're kind of guiding your direction so that you don't leave yet.
Yeah, I know. So we're going outside?
Mhm.
I'm excited to go camping again. I miss your pancakes, Lee.
Thanks. Oh, I'm excited to cook
Open,
again.
open fire.
Love me some fires.
I just want to get out of this creepy place. Oh, sorry. What a weird shit going on.
Now this might be the drugs talking, but
But what?
this is weird. I'm getting a bad vibe. There's all sorts of juju around here that is not boding well.
You step
Like
out.
when we get the first chance to escape, we just
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
You step outside, and in the town square, you can see all the people, the peasants that were in the houses, have pretty much been forced out of their houses by the guards that are going in, waking people out of their beds and pulling them out. And Zane, this is the first time you're pretty much seeing the actual village. With the exception of that large fortress building you just walked out of, everything else is fairly run down and primitive and rustic. And the peasants that you're seeing are actually all frail and weak, and they all look tired and just worn. None of them appear to have, clean or fashionable clothes. Everybody's tattered in rags, bruised and dirty, as if there's very poor hygiene and not a lot of food. But from the even just impression that you got inside that fortress, there was bountiful food strewn about in an immaculate way, and everybody that was in there was, I don't want to say plump, but they were definitely well fed. But in the town square, everybody gathers, and Roarwin steps up and says, "With this," and he's holding some kind of detonator, igniting to a fuse. "With this blast, shall we reclaim the lake that was taken to us by the traitors." And then the gentleman that resembled a crane, he pulls off a sheet that you thought was probably just facing a building, but this building must have been some kind of stage, and there's actually 2 men that are strung up to be hung.
Oh, fuck me.
One of them is another lion humanoid, and the other one is a tiger. And you recognize them as being Naveen and Kari.
Yeah.
So with this blast, shall we drain the lake, and following a short celebration, we shall hang our enemies and live a bountiful life. And you hear a bunch of people just kind of murmur, and the guards poke at people to make them cheer. The whole ground shakes, and you could kind of hear this very loud running of water, like a river surging, like a dam had broken. And even just from what you could see from here, you see splashing and everything, as you see an entire body of water pretty much surge past. I guess actually it's underground. So you just feel the rumbling of the water, and then you see it start spewing out on the opposite side of town, filling up that big canyon that you guys had actually fought over. Is now filling rapidly with water. And you see fish and algae and everything surging out. Followed again by some forced cheering. And then he strikes up the band to start playing. And people, servants, better-looking servants, come out and they start serving hors d'oeuvres and such. As the guards kind of take a perimeter, some of them forcing peasants to dance and to have, to make merry.
Forced to make merry.
A lot of it going there.
Well, you said that there was a perimeter.
Yeah, the guards have pretty much formed a perimeter around this town square. Dance! Be merry all! We have earned a great victory here. Let's party before our enemies, so they may see what life they've chosen. Lee starts dancing in place.
I think we're supposed to do this.
I'm gonna copy Lee. I'm gonna tickle Teddy.
I am utterly confused as to why they're draining the lake.
Well, you guys have an opportunity to talk now. There's no guards in your vicinity, so...
Why are they draining the lake?
Well, we came here to save you,
Pretty bitter.
and they were questioning you. So, we suggested, because they were saying how these people are taking their lake, and that's why all these people are not eating, is because they had famine, because they couldn't use the lake. So I suggested we build a tunnel and make a small reservoir so they can have water without the other people knowing. But they decided to take the whole fucking river, or the whole lake. Yep. And,
Good idea, and crank it up to 11.
oh yeah, you know.
Who knows?
This guy kind of is very gung-ho about being a tyrant, so, from what I hear. We need to leave, basically. We can't stay here.
Go!
What, are we gonna make a break for it? What are we gonna do?
No, I think we have to stay here until the end of this celebration.
What the two people hanging? I don't recognize those.
Well, those are the quote-unquote rebels. They're the ones who saved some of the people to leave this place.
And this is like not our fight.
Yeah, I'm feeling like that we probably shouldn't put our hand in this because I already fucked up royally anyway. So I think we should just leave and let it lie.
And as the party...
Yeah, like how full is that canyon? Water. Like,
It's pretty much
around water.
filling up. It's no longer going to be a canyon. It's going to be, you know, your own, well, their own lake.
Their own oasis.
Yeah.
It's not like threatening to overtake fortifications and shit because they miscalculated, right?
No, it's going okay. I was actually just saying that as you guys, you know, you're talking, you're dancing, you're eating, as the party dies down, the water does eventually stop. And it actually fills up to about 10 feet below the edge of the ravine.
Well, that's good.
So now there's like a
That
water...
makes it a little easier.
Yeah, so that's the back of the village, you know. That's the side that does not have a wall, now has just the water.
Well, that's a nice feature.
Yeah, so now there's lakeside property.
Does anyone here know how to fish?
Everybody,
I mean, know how to make explosives to blow up a bridge.
No one knows how to fish?
They know how to fish.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Back when they used to share the lake, that's all they would do for food.
Oh. Guess he's gonna be fishing soon.
I'll fish.
Wait, shut up.
Oh, sorry.
I have a fishing rod with me.
I don't think it's in your inventory. And none of this would have been possible if not for the great help of our newest friends, Natsu, Lee, and Zane. And you see the two people that are strung up on the ropes just kind of like fighting and growling at you guys.
All I did was give an idea, that's all.
And you see him signal for the band to stop playing. If I could find it. Do you have any last words, Naveen? Karik?
Damn you, Roarwin. You're a monster and a tyrant. You deserve the slowest, most painful death. And even if I can't, my brothers will avenge me.
We will be free. And you hear some of the peasants kind of like murmur, like supportingly. And then they kick out his legs and he starts dangling.
I'm gonna close steady, guys.
And then it goes to the next one, the tiger, who you know as Karik. Karik, do you have any final words? And as he opens his mouth to start to speak, Roarwin kicks out his legs too, and he just starts dangling there, flopping around.
Oh, that wasn't fair. Good thing I got a speech.
And another great thank you to our friends, Natsu, Lee, and Zane, he says with the two people dangling behind him.
All I gave was an idea, I'm just saying.
And alas, I bid you all good evening. My subjects, you may return home. Tomorrow we will begin our next great project at sunrise. Be ready.
On the old pack. Good. Farewell, good sir.
I'm gonna give a bow. It's very nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, and you as well. Surely the young one wishes to return home.
Hey, you wanna be with us? You wanna stay here?
I want to stay with you. Well,
Perhaps,
I
maybe...
suppose...
What's that?
I suppose I could be willing to part with a member of my workforce for the right price. Yes.
Do you not have enough money?
I schlep out the eye of the beholder, like, slam!
Dropped mic.
Matlock, the scientist, runs up. He's
Oh, in such great condition, except for this large stab wound, but I can work with that.
So I'm just gonna look at him. Is that good?
that will
Keep the little ones, I like my necklace.
that will suffice.
I'm gonna bow again. Again, very nice to meet you, sir.
Farewell, and thank you again for all of your great engineering advice. Zane, thank you for your information. And Lee, good luck with the orbs.
Yeah, I still have them.
Okay, thanks, bye!
Yeah, and we're just gonna, like, Scooby-Doo our way out of there.
Yeah, and as soon as we're out of kind of eyesight, I think we should run. And make some serious...
Here.
and make some serious headway, like, taking us away from this place. And I got a boy!
He's like playing with your hair, like as you're running. So as you guys are leaving, Sven and Gilder say goodbye and wish you good luck.
I'm gonna shake their hand.
They shake your hand back.
Very nice to meet you guys.
Keep practicing your game of poker. Someday you'll be as good as I am.
You have a better tell face than me, sir.
I've been playing many years.
I see that.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, you have a great day.
I will see you again.
Bye.
And then you guys are running?
Yeah, as soon as we're kind of out of eyesight, then running as far as we can possibly for, like, till next...
Or wherever the next stone is.
Yeah, like, seriously making headway, and, like, full on, until can't
It
possibly
wasn't at the
anymore.
bottom of the lake, was it?
Lee's gonna have to check the map to find out where it was.
I hope he doesn't try and intervene.
Who?
That asshole. I'm talking to Lee.
I hope so too. How did he know about the stones? The only
He,
ones-
he obviously used some truth serum on Zane.
Then
I am free from guilt. I was not my right self.
it's not your fault. I know you wouldn't have told them anything voluntarily. It's okay.
Well,
We're
how many
still
more do you
friends.
need anyway?
We have 3, which means we need 2 more.
Alright, that's not bad.
You guys are talking about, like, while jogging?
Yeah.
You can roll athletics. I just want to see kind of how much distance you're able to get. We're pretty much going to go by whoever has the lowest roll.
You said athletics?
Athletics.
6.
What'd you have, Zane?
28.
Very nice. 6. Alright. So you guys are keeping up with Natsu's very slow jog. Very, very slow jog. But he's got Teddy on his shoulders, so you know, it's justified. You know,
Did,
top
what's his
heavy.
face give me back the wingsuit?
No.
Whatever.
It is actually nightfall, but are you guys continuing away?
I think we should.
Yeah, we're keeping on going.
Okay.
I want to get as far as possible.
I want some real estate between me and
Yeah, that would take them a whole day to get to us, you know?
From time to time, by the way, as you guys are continuing your run, you do see, like, ruptures in the ground. Clearly, when they had exploded their underground tunnel out, it definitely created some turbulence kind of along the area of that tunnel shot. So it is nighttime. You guys are going to continue? Just going to push through? Okay. You can roll for endurance.
29.
Yeah.
28. Okay. You guys are all feeling awesome. You're pushing on through the night. You don't even feel tired. Maybe it's the slow pace you have, but either way, you're feeling good. You actually get some considerable distance, and then Lee stops just to check the map and see exactly where you guys need to go for the next orb. And it's not far. It's actually a little more by the bridge, so you guys were actually all running in the right direction and everything. It is a little close, kind of to, I guess you could say the split of where Roarwin and his encampment village was, and the rebels where their encampment is.
It's in the middle?
Yeah.
Do you think we should maybe skip to the next one, Lee?
The next one will end up being on the way back.
On the way back to where?
The Radiant Empire.
Okay, I guess so. We have to do this.
I mean, we don't have to. We could divert out. I started with my list, and he has pretty much a list of like 20 orb locations. This one was the closest to where you are, but he also has them highlighted on which ones he's found multiple sources for, and which ones are less credible. So this is one that's more credible.
Okay. It is what it is.
It is a little back more by the bridge. If you guys want to press on. I know I still have it in me.
Yeah, we should try and do it now.
Okay. Alright, then let's...
Have a bite of like beef jerky.
Yeah, Zane, as even time goes by the way, you just feel better and better. You're not feeling more tired. You feel like you've fucking overslept for days. So you feel awesome. You know what? You're gonna get +1 to your first attack roll. Because you're so well rested. And you can all roll perception.
Crit.
Okay. Natsu, you're the only one that notices this. But you see a shadow moving amongst the trees. Incredibly silent, as if it's been following you.
I'm gonna stop. Who's over there? Stop listening.
You don't hear a response. What's over there?
I hear you. I seen you, and I'm gonna point directly on where I saw the shadow.
Then you, as you're all looking in that direction, you do start to see the gleam of 2 eyes. And then a silhouette steps forward out of the shadows, and you recognize it's that crane that you had seen back at, the village.
What can we do for you, sir?
You see him draw his katana and say nothing. And he stands on one of his crane legs, lifting the other one up to perch it amongst his other one.
I'm gonna roll for insight or perception to see how more skilled he is.
Okay.
Is that insight?
Insight.
9, 10, 11,
Me
12,
too.
14, 15, 16, 26.
18.
Okay. Both of you could gather that he is probably a little stronger than you. Maybe the three of you together would be able to take him. But he does appear to, even just from his poise and his balance, he's probably very fast. He will be targeting things like reflex. He's probably a few levels higher than you.
Okay. It's like we're doing this because it doesn't give us much of a choice. I'm gonna make the first attack.
Try and imitate Crane, my sword, and look all haggard doing it.
You could roll acrobatics.
I'm gonna be like, you're my oath of enmity, motherfucker.
Ooh, are you using it?
Yeah. I don't know what it actually does though. What does it do? When you make melee attacks against your target.
Pretty much anytime you make an attack roll against him, you get to roll 2 dice instead of 1. And use either result.
So now that I'm attacking, I can roll 2.
Yes. Let me find some information.
I rolled 2 15s. So that's gonna be a 29 to, I guess, armor class.
This one will work. 29 to armor class, that will hit.
That will hit. So, when I roll damage, does that mean I get to roll 2 die for each thing?
No.
Okay. So it's
No, it was just for
for
that.
the attacks, okay.
You roll 2 20s and then pick whichever one's higher.
You just roll 2 and you pick whichever one you want. What were you doing as your attack?
Flares of the sun. First 5. 8.
Natsu's lighting the woods on fire.
9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 43.
We still have the temporary hit points from last time.
No, it's been a couple of days.
48.
48?
Oh, plus 5 fire damage.
Very nice. Okay, so 50.
And 5 of it is obviously fire. So yeah.
Okay.
So basically, I just hurled this huge ass fucking flaming craziness to him. Just after I'm like, you're a motherfucker.
He actually, when you hit him, he gets singed and burned a little bit, and you see him actually brace with his other leg. Bring
Smells
it
like
down.
chicken. Smells like fucking chicken. We should eat this motherfucker.
I'm gonna tell you guys just how he works, just so you're not confused with it. But he actually gets 2 turns in the initiative order. So, since you went first...
That seems a little unfair.
It is very unfair. So he gets 2 turns.
It is very unfair. He gets two turns, essentially, per turn.
Essentially, yes. And his action right now is actually an immediate reaction. It's not even one of his turns. Essentially, when you threw the fireball, he was able to shift to be adjacent to you. So as he's burned, he plants his other leg for balance and sprints in, so he's actually next to you. And then is his actual turn. This will be against your reflex for very, very good. Against your reflex for a 38.
I'm used to that hit.
Yeah. I just need to take out the right dice, wherever they may be. It's going to be for 11 damage, and his katana has cut your... left leg, right leg, left arm, right arm, torso, head. He has cut your left arm, and when you feel it cut you, you immediately feel your arm as if it's gotten a bit sluggish. As if it feels just heavy.
It seems like he's a little OP, Mike.
He is
But-
OP.
Then why the fuck?
He's tough. He's not invincible. You notice there's no battle music? Because it's that quiet of an encounter. You don't even hear his feet as it hits the pavement. Or, not pavement, the dirt.
Just the light pitter patter.
After him goes Zane. Oh, what did you do with Teddy?
I think I put him down. I didn't say anything, but I would have.
Yeah, before you threw the fireball, I'm sure you would have done something. What would you have done?
I would have put him to the side, kind of out of the way.
Okay.
I'm just gonna attack.
Okay. If you mention things too, like that you're gonna position yourself so that you're flanking with Natsu, it'll give you combat advantage.
Like, hey, can you put a barrier on Teddy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well then, in that case, yeah, I'll dip around, circle around and get on the other side of him.
Okay. Then with combat advantage, you get +2 to your attack roll.
AC.
What, 29? That'll hit.
And 19 damage.
Wow, nice. 60. You guys are doing really good. I hate that you always open with flares with the sun.
I'm sorry.
It's such a good move.
I feel like that's how Natsu would. He would just.
Next up, he gets his second turn. This one will be against Zane for 34 to reflex. And that one's against Natsu.
That misses.
Why does he get 2?
Also for 34. He's attacking both of you.
What? How? How can he attack both of us?
With counter power. He's just spinning around with the katana. He does you 11 damage. Alright. For damage, you guys are going to take 14 damage. Natsu, this time, he hit your right arm. And when you feel it cut into you, your right arm now feels a bit sluggish and heavy. Zane, he has hit your right leg. And when you feel it cut into you, same thing. You feel like your leg has gotten heavier.
Well, I'm going to use a awesome...
Immediate interrupt. Nice. What is it?
It's a batty one.
Oh.
Oh, it says, as your enemy swings for the kill, your warding suddenly turns to ice, lashes out your foe with the fury of winter. The triggers an adjacent creature hits you. Hit 3 weapon plus intelligence fire. Cool.
Oh my god, that's a nice one. Go ahead and make an attack roll. That hits. I was hoping you guys would miss once.
Slash 16 plus 4 cold damage.
Nice.
Well, he's getting a whole bunch of elements towards him.
Yeah. He's like being iced and on fire at the same time.
To make him less.
After that goes Lee, and Lee is going to cast a barrier over Teddy, so nobody can get to him. That's how strong the barrier is. So he just goes, and you see this barrier of elemental energy just surround the kid. So it's like, because it's a really pretty color, you know. He's loving it. And then we are back to Natsu.
And Natsu is going to attack.
Natsu, I would like for you to take a -2 to to your attack roll.
That's fine, I'm rolling 6.
Good.
So mine's 2, that's 11. It's 25.
To what?
2 armor class.
That will miss.
An action point.
What did you do exactly?
An action point.
No, but what did you do with that attack when you missed? Was that like a punch, or?
It was a swinging of a weapon.
What weapon do you use?
Dwarven thrower.
What is it, an axe or something?
I don't know. But apparently with this one, if I miss, it's half damage anyway.
Okay, well the reason I want to bring it up,
Why?
well what kind of weapon is it?
I don't know, it's a fucking knife? I have no idea. I don't know what that is.
A gouge. I think it's some kind of staff. What did we flavor it as? Like, what do you hit people with?
My hands.
Okay, then we'll say it's your hands. You go to punch him, and when you miss,
I don't miss, I get half damage.
Because you missed. So when you throw your punch, he actually kind of deflects it a bit with the side of his blade, kind of butting it with the hilt. Granted, you are still going to deal him damage, but even when you hit that part of his weapon, you actually feel your your arm get heavier.
That's really gay.
And then you could roll for that half damage.
And 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So that's half. 32.
16.
I'm gonna action point and roll again. Is he bloody?
He is bloodied. As of that hit, he is bloodied.
Okay. Do I have to do another reduction?
Mm-hmm. This will be a -3.
Why?
Because your arms are getting heavier.
It's really fucking retarded. Well, even though I miss, I do half damage anyway.
Okay.
Will effect still apply even if I miss?
Whatever applies is under what it says miss.
Yeah, it says miss, half damage, and then effect.
End effect?
Yeah.
Then the effect will also count.
15 and 5, 20, so 10. But I can use a heal surge to make an additional 2 weapon damage of necrotic damage.
Even if you missed, you could do that?
5, 6,
Nice.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, comes to 12, I guess. 6 of necrotic damage.
Okay. Pretty cool. Oh, and you missed again. So it'll be another mark. Your right arm is now incredibly heavy. It's actually difficult for you to lift it. And then he goes. Let's see, he is bloodied. He's going to shift out, and he actually does shift 2 squares. So he shifts out from between you two, and you see him drop into a very defensive-looking pose, as if he's ready to react to whatever actions you might take against him. And then...
Kill him.
and he...
Fighting us.
Are you Xing him? Roarwin sends his regards.
He's a piece of shit. That's what he is.
You denied his
Maybe you
proposal.
could just go back and tell him that you killed us. Won't say anything, and you don't have to die.
You see him, his beak smirks. And he stands up from his defensive pose, and sheathes his sword. And he turns away to sleep into the darkness.
What?
If you're allowing him to walk away, anyway.
He's already bloody. Go get him.
Ah, fuck it. I'll throw the sword at his back.
You can make an attack roll.
I feel like that should be a minor.
That's a standard.
No, that should be a minor.
It's standard every time.
He crit! He fucking crit!
Tell me what the damage number is, please.
Let's see.
Nigga crit!
Yeah, it's so max damage, right?
Max damage plus whatever your bonus damage is.
Oh, I get to roll another one?
No. Your bonus damage is on your character sheet by your weapon, so it's probably one of the last pages. And it'll say on a crit what kind of dice it is.
Oh, I get to do that 3 times. No shit. So it's a +3 weapon.
So that means
That would be-
max damage plus 3d12s or d10s, whatever yours is.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
It's gonna be close.
+41 damage.
41?
And I roll 1. And then I warp to...
Warp to him for a move. Is he dead?
No, he's not dead. Your sword has stabbed him into the back, and you teleport holding it, and he is still bleeding, but alive. And you...
And I'm going to use my move action. I got this thing called Amathor Step. And I can teleport 5 squares. I'm just going to just quick with that katana.
You're gonna step, what, like away?
Yeah, and then action point, throw my sword again.
You can if you want, go ahead.
I would also immediate interrupt so he could do that twice. Two rolls of the d20.
Nice, there you go.
1 is the weapon. Alright, weapon's the higher one. 24 AC. Damn it.
That will miss. When you
I gave you 2 tries. What the fuck, Josh?
when you throw your sword, he in this motion has drawn his katana and deflected it into the tree. So it's just stuck in the tree. Are you teleporting to it?
Teleport to my sword.
Yeah. When you do actually manage to pull it out, actually you can make an athletics check to pull it out. That'll be your minor.
Reset.
You pull it out, and as soon as you do, you feel that your sword is twice as heavy as it was before. And now it's his turn.
Slowly, deliberately.
There is no honor among you. He turns his sword upside down, holding it only from the hilt, and he drops it while mouthing something. And you see the sword just kind of disappear as if it's going through a portal. And it reappears next to you, where he is then holding it.
Ah!
That's very high. 36 to armor class.
I'm sorry, what?
36.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it must be close to death. 41 damage. Pretty nasty.
Not to mention the 50-something from the first time.
23 damage. And that attack hit your
I'm bloody.
left leg. And this attack will be 26 against your reflex.
A hit.
For 8 damage. And that one hit your other leg.
You said 28? How much? 28?
No, just 8.
Oh, 8. Okay.
You said you're bloodied?
Yep.
Lee goes next. On Lee's turn, he is going to heal you for 18. Natsu! Ha! And then he'll use his minor to give Zane some temporary hit points. You get 5.
Yeah, 5, 10.
Next up goes Teddy, who's going to poke at the barrier.
My turn?
Your turn.
Okay. You're gonna die today, buddy. Am I level 5?
Look at level 8.
I am level 8. That means I get to do this bottom one. 4 d10s.
If you hit.
18? 10. So, what's the thing now? I have to subtract how much? Are you keeping track?
5.
So, 18, 5, 13. Plus I get 1 spiritual bonus when I'm bloody. That's 14 and 14, 28. 2 will.
Oh! Just enough. He has
Nice.
28 will.
So that means that's going to be 4 d10s. Where are my d10s? 1,
Even
It's still
with all
possible.
the-
2,
Still possible he'll survive.
3, 4.
What always ruins them and makes them bloodied so fast is that stupid flares of the sun. You always do it right away.
Why not?
I don't know.
So I could pull him 5 squares wherever I want. It also immobilizes the target until the end of my next turn. So I'm gonna kind of push him away. 4 d10. So that's 8 and 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 25, 30, 30.
Oh. He's very bloody. And it says you can pull 5 squares?
Yeah, and then he's all immobilized.
Okay. Pull just means bring him towards you. He's already next to you, but you can still immobilize him.
Alright, I'm gonna mobilize him, and then I'm gonna use my move action to...
Kick him in the nuts.
No. Okay, no, I'm gonna try the power. Nope, not that one. There was one more. It was like I was able to shift back as a minor. Oh! Minor action! Dragon Breath! Why didn't I do that from before? Blast 3. To D6. Alright, and one more. 15, minus 5.
Mm-hmm. Surprised you hit him before. Jesus. Going all out.
Oh, I gained plus 2 to my attack roll with this one. So it's 12. Uh, 16, 26. And it says attack strength, constitution, dexterity versus reflex. You gain plus 2 to attack roll.
So you had 26 against reflex?
I think that's what that means.
Then that will be a miss. Muhaha! The weight of your arms is finally slowing you down. And same thing, when you throw that punch, he deflects it with the hilt of his sword.
That's a dragon breath. That was a roar.
Oh, then never mind. None of that happens. He cuts the fire,
Okay.
and the fire gets heavy and falls to the ground.
That's all I have.
And after Natsu, he takes his sword and he splits it into 2, flipping both upside down and dropping them both while mouthing something. And this time he reappears next to Zane.
That time, he didn't get fucking hit once.
I think he got hit once. He's about to get hit a bunch of times. This is his strongest move. Well, I hope it hits. It has to hit, obviously.
It hits. No hits.
Here you go. We got a 30 to reflex, 27 to reflex, 25 to reflex, and 23 to reflex.
5 times.
4.
I mean, they all hit. I have a 20.
Oh. You're not very fast.
Not terribly.
Alright, I'll narrate the damage out for you first. So first, we have 13. Ooh, this one I rolled max. 17. One shy of max for 16. And 15. What, are you down? Are you bloodied?
I might be. I'll have the calculator for that, I feel like, actually.
Can I get anything, Mike?
No thank you. Actually, I'll take a vanilla Coke.
Whew.
Don't forget those step hit points you had.
Well, I'm utilizing them.
And,
Right, I'm very bloody.
where he hit you, he got your right leg once, your right arm once, your torso once, and he even cut your head once.
Head?
Yeah, he got like a cut on your face.
You made me bleed my own blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, we'll say that you're dazed, because he got your face. Save ends. And that is the end of his turn. Who went before him? You did? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, then Zane, it's your turn. Come, piece, come, cake.
Wasn't he immobilized? He was immobilized. He couldn't have attacked.
He teleported.
He was still immobilized. He couldn't do it.
Immobilized means you can't move, like take a move action. You can still attack.
That's fucking gay.
Ah, it says I'm a first step. Move action. Teleport.
It's a move action to teleport. You could still teleport if you're immobilized. Same thing if you're grabbed. Like if you're wrapped up in a tentacle, you can't walk away, but you can teleport.
Right,
I didn't make the rules.
Whatever.
Thank you. Is that a save?
Alright, I'm gonna use Rejuvenating Strike.
To the beginning of my next turn. Or the end of my next turn, whatever.
But if it hits, you get a healing surge and you weapon damage. So, here's that.
You're gonna take a -1 to your attack roll. I'm sorry, make that a -2 because I forgot he had your sword weighted.
Eight. Let me see.
8?
28.
Oh, 28. Yeah, that'll hit.
I wouldn't have gotten a fucking what's going on this either. I need to read what I'm hitting you with. Because
I agree.
most of the time it's not, it's like divinity power, it's not even my weapon. How bloody this is.
Very.
14 damage. And I get a healing surge.
Excellent. That's actually enough to kill him.
Yes.
So he had teleported in front of you. He did a whole bunch of very fancy slashes with his two swords.
Like, trying to keep up, but very sloppily so.
And how'd you kill him?
I think they all pretty much are teleported. Oh no, so I'm gonna like block a bunch of his, parry a bunch of his hits, and then find the one like stupid open spot because like I twist my ankle and fall over. And then there's an opening from such a low angle, and I gut him. As I stab him, I find life from him to reduce my life.
He slides down your blade, pretty much falling on top of you, and just laying dead on top of you.
Take his head off!
Yeah, I move my head over because his beak is coming right at me.
If I do not kill you, the rebels will.
And then you hear him, you know, excrete his bowels.
The death gurgle.
Oh. Cough up some blood.
Zane, are you okay?
Lee comes running up and helps take the bird off you.
You alright, man?
Alright.
You take that katana.
Yeah, I wanna grab that weapon.
And we should cut off his beak. So that when the rebels are like, hey, aren't you the person I helped? Like, you're the person who killed his general. Killed his general.
Are you gonna use it? You're gonna use it like that?
Yep. I have a katana. Woo! I can teleport.
So we're decapitating the crane and using it as a puppet later?
Yep.
It's fucked up.
Whatever.
Lee wants no part in this.
Shouldn't we eat him? He's a bird, right? Can we eat a bird?
That's a person.
It's not a bird. It's a bird.
That's gross.
It's a bird. I'm a very diced claim for a second.
Whatever. Can you heal me? I feel heavy.
Of course. Yeah, you could gather.
Yeah, how do we get rid of all the heaviness?
Lee, I'm gonna roll to see if Lee knows this spell.
He knows everything.
He might not know this. He knows this. So it takes a short rest, but during the short rest, he waves you both down and
Thanks,
removes it.
Lee. I'm tired.
You're welcome.
Hey, Teddy, come here. I give him a big hug.
Are we at like full hit points now, or do I need to spend
You spend some healing surges to get there. You don't want him to waste his encounter powers and stuff.
The heaviness is gone.
Heaviness is gone. And Teddy is like staring at the katana. He likes it.
Oh, you like the katana, little buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that what we want to learn how to use?
I'd love to.
Okay. We gotta build up your strength, so.
Okay.
Okay?
Meantime, I reach over.
It is a beautiful weapon. It's incredibly balanced, although it is very heavy for something as smooth as it cuts. The blade is so sharp that even just when holding it upside down, you could drop a leaf on it and it cuts the leaf in half. If you wanted to roll Arcana, I could tell you a little bit about the magical effects of this blade.
Yes, I
Of course.
would.
You look it over and you can pretty much read the magic flowing across the blade. And its magical effect is anything that it cuts or combats, it doubles the weight of whatever it cuts. So if you block a sword hit with that sword, the other sword has doubled its weight. And every time you hit it after that, it has doubled its weight. Cut a leg a couple of times, That leg now weighs 100 pounds. 200 pounds. 400 pounds.
400-pound leg, your hip bone would break.
It could.
The elephant leg. What's like a normal leg?
Natsu's,
Does it have a special name?
Natsu had an arm. One of your arms was probably weighing about 150 pounds by the end of the fight. But you're better now. It is the katana of the weighted crane.
The same +3 as the other.
Well, I'm not sure if you're actually even proficient with this. What kind of sword do you normally use?
It's a bastard sword, so like a hand and a half. It's basically a heavier katana.
Okay. Yeah, this one will also be a +3. It's just it has a really cool effect. I thought that was a really cool effect.
Are you gonna give the axe to Teddy, being that you're gonna take his katana?
He doesn't have an axe. He has a great sword.
Oh.
Or a bastard sword.
The best, whatever. Same shit.
He holds up a bastard sword? Is he strong enough?
No. He's 6.
He's gotta learn.
As long as you don't drag it, little guy.
You'll get there.
You just see him holding his teddy bear again. Heavy.
I'll help it lift it up and he can like rest it on his shoulder and like.
Alright, so you guys just finished combating your assassin. Would-be assassin. That was messed up. Why would Roarwin send him after us?
He's a dick.
What do you mean? The rebels are gonna get us? Why would they be after us? We didn't do nothing.
He's been saying all the shit that we helped and we're friends.
They're probably a little bitter about taking the water source.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be pissed about that.
So, now that we dealt with the crane,
I have crane beak in my bag.
You guys write it in your inventory?
I did already.
I say from here on out we should sneak and try and get to the without arousing any suspicion from the rebels.
Good idea. Zane has a good idea. Either roll for stealth.
I'm gonna put. We're moving now?
Oh, if you're going.
Want to chill for the night?
Well, I don't think anything else is gonna be coming after us for a little bit. Or we can sleep in chips. Or we could just go. It's up to you.
No, we should sleep so that we can get all of our daily powers back, okay?
He did use dailies. So
Okay.
did you actually? Isn't Players of the Summit daily?
No, it counts.
That's fucked up. I can't believe I gave that
How
to
much
you.
power?
Oh no, it is the daily. It is the daily.
Yay!
Alright, we'll sleep.
Oh, of course. Now we'll all sleep.
We'll
Are
sleep in
you-
chips.
Well, no, I'll take first shift.
Yeah, we'll sleep in chips.
Okay. So Zane first, and then you, Lee.
Yep.
Got it.
Obviously, Teddy doesn't get a shift.
Let me roll.
Gerald does not get a shift.
Let me roll to see if anybody has found you guys. 1. Okay. It is a quiet night.
Cause you bot.
Hey.
I really dig the cricket chirps and whatnot and frogs.
Me too. That's why I like the nighttime. I also have some great rain effects, but it can't rain all the time. The sun rises, dawn breaks. You see a few clouds bellowing across the sky, and the smell of dandelions carried on the wind. You could hear yourself getting closer to that ravine that's been filled with the water. And Lee has pretty much told you that the entrance to this next dungeon area for the orb is right off that water. It is a little bit below
um, below the canyon. So you don't know if it's underwater or not, but you'll have to get there to find out.
If it is, I was completely railroaded.
Give me that.
We need spells to have it. We need some gillyweed, and then we can just go down and...
You guys would all get the gillyweed, like nothing cool. Maybe the bubble over your head. But no shark, none of that. Alright, you guys were continuing on. I believe you were stealthing, right?
Yep.
You want to roll stealth?
Yeah. 13.
12.
Okay. Teddy's been a little bit irritable. He's cranky.
Why you cranky, buddy?
He wants to play with toys and stuff. That's really why. He wants to stop to play.
Oh, put him on my shoulder. You can play on my hair.
And even while he's up there, Lee is actually casting little spells and making bubbles in the air, so he's popping the bubbles as you walk.
Is he better now?
Yeah, he's fine. You guys pretty much get up to that ravine that's... You had the opportunity to take a nap, and you love this game, so you will stick it out. Don't care. Have some coffee. Have some coffee.
I'm fine coffee.
I'll be back.
Oh, Nikki's getting coffee now, too. You've inspired everyone.
It is fire dick.
Delicious. But, Rick doth inspire.
Zane, what did they do to you? Do you know?
I don't know what they did. Apparently, I fell asleep after I killed the beholder. I just kind of made my necklace and then passed out.
That's funny. I just imagined you like most...
How big are the small eyes of the beholder?
Still pretty big, like still, you know, like an orange size.
Oh, it's just these, like 10 of them?
Yeah. Yeah, like that guy from Street Fighter, whose name I never remember. You know, he has that big... The big beaded necklace? I don't know his name.
Allison? You have stretchy arms and legs?
Not him.
You got the orange hair?
Yeah.
The green
Kima.
skin?
Or a Kima.
He's like the Roarwin guy.
I don't know. Either way. Yeah, they're really big eyes around your neck. You guys continue walking on. You actually do get to that ravine. And Lee peeks in. Yeah, it's not moving. It's pretty much just the same as a lake that filled this canyon. And Lee can actually see the entrance. It's like a crack in the side of this canyon. And it's actually only half submerged, so you guys will be able to walk through without any problems. Just gotta jump down into the water. When you're ready.
I'm gonna jump down!
Oh, I'm diving in.
Diving. Are you bringing Teddy in?
Yeah, I came on ahead.
Good. He's actually short enough that if he was walking on his own, he'd be underwater. So it's good that you carry him.
That's me.
I warn the rest of them, like, I heard of this legend. There's a temple under the water. It's very difficult. The fact that there's water at the entrance of this cave does not bode well.
Well,
Be on your guard.
if you guys remember how this canyon was formed? It was formed by the water. Forming through a river carrying the, water downstream. And eventually, I don't know if somebody blocked off the canyon or something. But either way, this at one time was completely filled. Which means this little crevice that we're walking through was probably underwater for a really long time. It's only just now been reacquainted with the wetness. It is actually fairly wide once you guys do get in, so you are able to walk at least in twos. I don't know what kind of formation you're in.
I'll be up front. Big point.
Okay.
I'm
Alright, then Lee will be up front with you. So it'll be Lee and Zane side by side with Natsu trailing behind with Teddy on his shoulders. Just trying to find something in particular.
Check. See if there's or anything.
Okay. Keep in mind the pretty much bottom half of this thing is filled with water. So it could be a little tricky to find stuff under there.
Stretch it.
I'm up.
816.
Nothing seems to stick out at you yet. You know, you're pretty much just walking through the first 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 feet. And it seems to kind of expand and come back together and expand and come back together. And the water level seems to be staying relatively consistent up until this part you come up to when it seems to actually dip down and you are actually treading water to continue swimming. It looks like it does actually go underwater, so you would have to dive to continue on.
Lee, do you have a bubble spell?
Do I have a bubble spell? Let me see. How about that? I do.
How long does your bubble spell last?
That is a good question. 40
And
minutes.
can we communicate while in said bubble?
We won't be able to speak, no.
40 minutes, that should be enough. Alright, Lee, let's do it.
Okay. Da-ba-da, look at my
I
life.
know a bubble spell or any sort of spell of the like.
It would be written under your rituals.
Oh yeah, I don't have any.
So it takes him a few minutes to prepare the spell. And you see him like picking up water and making bubbles in his hand and picking up water and making bubbles in his hand. And then he makes 4 that float in the air in front of you, in front of all of you. And he says, just go ahead and put your head into it.
I'm gonna throw one onto Teddy, one onto me.
So it's essentially like those videos where they're in condoms or something.
Yeah, just like that.
Bubble is like.
You guys, like, when you're above the water, you can speak to each other normally. When you go underwater, it kind of comes out very garbled. So if you're not, like, right next to each other, you won't be able to hear each other.
So, and it's just follow the hallway.
Okay. Okay, so you dive down.
If we can find any rocks or anything heavy to sort of displace our buoyancy, so we can actually go down.
Very smart. Yeah, this first shot is pretty much like a straight down dip. In terms of finding loose rocks, there's nothing really that heavily weighted. Nothing that's enough to make you sink. But you do find some pebbles, and you do have a katana that doubles the weight of things.
Just start tapping on some pebbles a few times. You know, test my weight. All right, a couple more taps.
Yep. You can make them as heavy as you'd like.
So I probably only need about 10 pounds.
10 pounds? Okay.
Everybody else probably, I mean, the little one, Natsu, and the little guy probably need, you know, 8.
Tiny, I don't need very much.
Lee loads up his pockets with whatever pebbles you give him. Teddy's so excited to be diving. I was never even allowed to take a bath by myself.
Well, you're not allowed to die by yourself because we're going with you.
I'm excited.
So excited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swim with sword equipped.
Okay. You guys are, well, let me know when you guys begin your dive, I guess.
We're beginning our dive.
Okay. You begin diving on down.
And you guys could roll perception, please.
This is a Keurig, Josh.
A little cute. Whoa.
Yep. It's Keurig craft. It's fucking awesome.
Oh.
On those days you need more than one.
Perception.
What were we rolling
Perception.
For? 16.
23.
Excellent. You both see on the way down that there's actually, periodically, you see these holes in the wall that are all in sets of 2. So you'll have one above the other here, one next to the other here. They're all kind of randomly placed throughout here. And where you're diving down, it does seem to get a bit more narrow. So you're kind of going down like an elevator shaft, almost. And what you actually notice, Zane, is while you're going past, and you're kind of just peeking into these holes, thinking like it's weird, and in one of them you see movement, and in another one you see some other movement.
Are doing hand signals like. Do you have to roll for something to see if they understood?
Well, if you get close enough to them, they can hear you. You just have to like put your face near theirs.
As well swimming, you're trying to swim like.
I'm gonna say a gesture for a powwow.
Round up.
Yeah, Lee swims over.
I'm gonna swim over too.
And I'm gonna tell them that there's some funny business going on behind these walls. There's probably traps.
You skipped out a little bit. You said that you were telling them about traps.
Yeah, probably before the water came in, there were holes for traps. Should be buried. And not give them any reason to attack us.
Okay. All right, you guys. Lee acknowledges. He gives you a big thumbs up, and then he continues diving down.
I'm just gonna get like a okay. Bananas.
Okay.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
And if I could have another perception check from you guys, please.
21.
16.
Excellent. Zane, you were pretty much in point with Lee, and as you're swimming, you do actually see coming up right in front of you. You see this little gleam, and when you get closer to it, you can see it's like a string draped across. So you can gather as some sort of pressure trap. That if you would have tripped this string, something would have happened.
Whoa. Stop everybody.
I will stop.
Is there anybody good at dungeoneering that can disarm it, or should we just swim around it?
Lee is not good at it.
I'm a 9, so I really don't feel comfortable.
4.
You guys are the greatest trappers ever.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, maybe swim around it, but
I mean, I'll try my hand out.
I gather that no, because if I touch it with the blade, it'll become heavy and pressurized.
Just like go like this to the water, and the water will pressurize itself.
Well, I mean, if the string moves, then who knows what will happen. So, let's say we swim around it, marking its, is there any way we can, like, mark the wall?
Yeah, you could cut onto it. That's fine. Yeah, you could just cut it with your sword or something. Like, cut the wall, not the string, I'm saying.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? No, I didn't do that. Just hear, Alright, so I'm going to slice the wall. Make it fatty.
Okay. You've marked it.
As we swim around the string.
Just for your elegance in swimming past it, if you guys could just roll for a stealth check here.
14.
16.
Excellent. You guys all are very careful about swimming past it. Even like the current from your kicks don't seem to trigger it at all. As you guys continue your dive down, you do notice that the water seems to get a bit more murky down here, and suddenly it no longer seems as cold and fresh as the rest of this water that you've been swimming through, as if this water is old and stagnant, like it's been here for a while.
If the water is old and stagnant?
Yeah.
Not the water that we just had.
No, the water that you were swimming through appears to all be fresh, probably that had come through from where they flooded the lake. This water appears to just be murky and dirty. And Lee, like, kind of waves you guys in.
Alright.
Like, age.
Well, this is probably, from when it was originally underwater. So this is probably ancient, whatever's down here. This is where we need to be. This is where the orb's gonna be.
Okay.
What's foul though?
It is very gross, yes. I think we should be very careful from here on out.
Okay.
Right, Teddy?
Teddy's more like a puppy than anything else.
Okay.
Yo, have we entered like a big room, or is it still in a hallway?
Yeah, you've pretty much reached the bottom where it seems to open up into like a it's no longer just the crevice and a cave-like design. This appears to have a floor. This part is actually man-made. And even when you first kind of break through and it's murky and gross and foggy, but even when you go through this narrow dip of a hallway, it does actually open up into a larger cathedral-like room. And this room appears to have no other windows or doors or anything. Just in the center of this room, about 100 feet away, is a platform, a giant stone platform. From here, you can't really make out too much of the detail, but you could gather that that platform is important because the whole room is built around it. And in the ceiling, at the center of this room, there appears to be some kind of shaft that goes up into darkness that you can't see.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is get my rope, cut out bits, and then I rope around everybody's wrists and ankles, and then tap it with the sword a few times, so that way we can actually walk on the floor at the bottom.
Smart. So what are you tying it to? Each other's wrists?
Yeah, just like cutting out maybe 6 inches, tying it around someone's wrist, and then you can have, that way you can stand up and fight, like around and not being able to do anything.
Smart.
Kind of like weighted boots and like wrist collars.
Okay. That's a smart idea.
It all comes back to Legend of Zelda.
Hey, I got a sword that's got a cool power, might as well utilize it.
It's true.
Alright. Well, you guys you're weighted down. You're actually able to walk like you're walking on Earth. You've only been underwater for about 12 minutes, so you still got plenty of time. Sometimes it took you to swim down and everything. Are you guys approaching that platform?
Yeah, and of course.
It seems to get more and more gross and murky, like the deeper you get, but this room seems to be wherever this dank is emanating from. When you get to this platform, it does appear to have all sorts of random language mambo-jumbo kind of put on there. And Lee doesn't even seem to be able to really translate too much, but you can make out that this, almost like a sarcophagus, has like an orb shape etched on top. And that if the orb is here, it's inside that. And there is some sort of mechanical contraption that's actually going to be able to open this. But you can't make out what it says to instruct it. So it would have to be something you guys tamper with to open it.
Well versed in many a language, I'm just curious.
What?
What language?
What language is it?
Yeah.
Supernal.
Yep, don't know that.
supernal, or super. I never really knew how to pronounce it.
That sounds correct. Yeah, I definitely don't know that language.
Okay.
Are there any other context clues around, like picture or glyphs?
Nothing that's in the language you guys understand. The only thing you guys can kind of make out is just the mechanical contraption. It appears to be a series of gears and little pistons that maybe if you put some time into figuring it out, you could figure out how to open this thing.
Roll for dungeoneering.
You could roll for dungeoneering.
Or thievery.
Dungeoneering would be first to understand it. Thievery would be to try to go for it.
Alright, I'm gonna roll for dungeoneering.
Likewise.
11.
17.
Okay.
That came through quick.
Natsu, you're looking at this thing, and you kind of try to look at it from different angles, and you can't quite figure out exactly what's going to let go of what. Lee looks at it, and Lee has no fucking idea what this thing is going to do or how it works. Zane, you kind of think you have a train of thought that might be able to make this work. But you know it's going to take you some time. It looks very complicated.
How much?
You don't know. You gotta spend a little more to get into it. And on that note, you guys can all make a perception check.
19.
You got a 19
That was mine.
and a 9, right?
I'm just staring right at it.
Makes sense. Natsu, you're the only one that seems to notice, but you do actually see, from that big shaft up top, you see a bunch of tentacles
Of course.
come out and around.
Absolutely. Monster! Another battle.
What's up with you? I really love this game.
I love this game. I hate the fucking battles. I really do. Like, all we do is battle. Do I get the attention of both of my party members?
Yeah, they see you.
Okay. I'm going to use the Fiery Blast of the Sun. Is it already there? Is it already coming in?
No, it's just up in the shaft. You only really see the tentacles.
I'm gonna roll for nature.
Am
17.
I aware of it, or is it like a countdown in a movie? Dun, 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 dun.
Well, Natsu did let you know that. Would you like to do what you did? And you rolled for nature. You could gather that it's something called a grell, like an underwater grell, similar to an octopus. It has like a little beak inside. They tend to lay dormant most of the time. They have no eyes or even too much of a sense of smell. They pretty much can only sense from like the vibrations and the current of the water. Excellent.
Like, just looking around, how fast is it like coming up?
Very, very slowly. It doesn't seem to have
Fish dead?
no. It doesn't seem to have really taken too much interest in anything just yet. It's just climbing out. It's not lunging or making any rapid movements.
Nobody move. Just breathe. Slowly.
Yeah, weighing yourself down right now, you could gather was the perfect idea. You're not like treading to stay in place. You are just perfectly motionless. And you see its head peek out. And again, there's no eyes or anything, but you just see it come out, and it's pulsing up top, almost like a sonar with its head, trying to pick up any movement. And then you see it kind of slurk back into its hole. Just leaving the tendrils out, holding onto the sides.
We're gonna have to remain very still. I want to continue to tinker around with the figured out.
Okay. You can make another dungeoneering check if you want to try to understand it a little better, or you can make a thievery check if you're just going to try to open it up.
Can I roll dungeoneering again?
Yeah.
Okay. 11.
16.
Okay. You guys are all kind of together trying to understand this contraption a bit more. Natsu appears to be actually even giving you some pointers, Zane, as you're looking. Like, you kind of got the whole motion of it, and then Natsu's coming over and kind of fine-tuning, like, oh, if you move this here, it'll do this. You do feel like if you took a whack at it right now, you'll get a +1 to your roll.
How much time is going by?
It's been another few minutes, so you're up to, let's say, 15 minutes.
I'm shitty at thievery, so...
How much time is on our bubble right now?
You've been underwater for 15 minutes.
Okay. Lee, are you able to like, update this?
Update the bubble?
Yeah.
Not from underwater. I need to trap the air.
And this thing was from where we came from? Can you possibly deconstruct the water to make air?
I'm not that good.
Yeah, you are. I believe in you. Do you know that spell?
No, I don't know that spell.
Do you know that spell? You should try. You should try and think if you know that spell.
Let me think. Nope.
18, he doesn't know that spell.
Needed a crit.
That was pretty clever, though. Well, my thoughts on the octopus after is that
I hate that it does that.
or tell no, I can't use that. So basically, what I want to do is try and touch the sort of the wing sword to each one of the tentacles as quick as possible, so that way it just sinks to the bottom.
Hey,
Initially by its own tentacles.
if that's something you want to go for, you know, as the DM, I encourage it.
That's after we open up the sarcophagus in front of us.
Alright.
Wait a minute. Usually when they build underground stuff, they have a second air vent. There must be another way out here.
Usually. I'm gonna roll for...
Well, in a movie, it had to be real.
The Grek is in us. What the fuck was it?
Elevator shadow. So did he trip his own trap? Is he stuck there?
What are you guys doing?
You didn't say if he tripped his own trap.
You want? Are you gonna go investigate to see if the Grek is stuck?
Oh no, I'm trying to open this thing.
Okay.
I only got a 4 for thievery.
Oh, you went for it? Okay. With your thievery
No,
check.
no, I didn't. No, I'm talking with Nikki now. Okay, my thievery skills are very low.
Oh. I thought you went for it and got a 4.
I'm thievery 8, so I guess maybe
A little better.
odd-wise, I guess I'm a little better.
I'm thievery -2.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yep, too honest. Alright, you want to just go for it? Do we get any bonuses for checking it out first? Or should we have another engineering check to verify our bonuses?
It's up to you. If you want to go for it and see if you can get another, bonus to your roll, go for it. But you could also lose the bonus.
I'm gonna attempt another bonus.
Me too. Crit! High five! Both crit!
Did you guys just double crit?
Fuck you!
Double crit.
Alright.
We don't even need to roll thievery, it's just magically opened.
No, you do. You do.
Magically opened! We're like, hey, what about that button? Oh my god, it opened!
guys...
There's a photo.
You both feel very confident in your abilities to disarm this.
So whichever one of you would like to make the actual thievery check will get a +4 bonus.
I'm going to do the thievery check just because I'm an 8 versus your
A little bit better, yeah. Mine's bad.
Hopefully I don't botch.
Do you want to let Lee do it?
Nope. 12 plus 4. 16 plus 8. So that's 24.
Awesome. That's an awesome job. Alright, good. Good for you.
Yeah.
So you're working out the mechanism and you actually manage to get it to pop. And the whole lid shakes a bit, splits into both pieces, and opens up. And a pedestal. Well, first there's a giant air bubble that comes up, and you see it float right up into that shaft.
He catch the air. He can read up our bubbles.
He tries to cup some air, but he's not really grabbing anything to keep in.
Good job, Lee.
But the air did go right up to the shaft. And a pedestal comes out from that sarcophagus-looking mound you just opened, and it is holding a glowing orb. Lee, well, he doesn't have to swim. Lee walks over, picks it up, puts it in his pack, and he does a little dance. And as he does that, you can see that the bubbles that went up into that shaft has caused the Grek to come out completely. And he is now swimming around in this room, with his head just pulsing, feeling any movement in the water.
I'm gonna take off my my weights basically, and just let my butt.
You should have a couple of them so you move very slowly through the center, just barely above.
Yeah, I just want to be just slowly moving up with no movements at all. So just kind of stealth upwards.
And you're going up the shaft that the Grek was just in?
Yeah, but now he's in the main room, right? Kind of swimming around. Yeah, so I'm gonna roll for stealth. Then.
Excellent.
And I obviously have Teddy too. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
20.
Okay. You guys are slowly floating up, gracefully, stilly, like a gentle little leaf floating to the surface.
Leaf on the wind.
And you see Lee kind of bringing up the rear, and he's kind of kicking a little bit, trying to keep his balance and to go over towards the shaft. And you can see that the Grek has sensed some movement coming from him and is swimming towards him cautiously.
All right, so we're still not horrible. All right, I'm gonna make another stealth check.
Yep.
Are you moving up? 19 and 8. Whatever that is. A lot. 37.
21.
27.
Alright, very nice. You're all actually doing well. Lee is still bringing up the rear, not very smoothly, but he's not as sloppy as he was before. One more check just to see if you're able to get into the shaft.
Crit.
Yeah.
Stupid dice. Botch. What was it?
Overall, 20. 16 and 4.
Good for you. Alright, you guys have all managed to ascend into the shaft.
Look at the string.
I'm gonna be weary of the string.
Weary of the string, you say. Okay.
Nice on the wall.
It was marked, yeah.
Actually, I guess you went first, so you can go ahead and make the perception check.
12.
Okay. You know about where to look, so you're able to find it. Alright, fine. You see it. Good for you. You float up, and you safely navigate up out of the shaft, having recovered an orb, into the now back to waist-deep water.
Nice.
That's much better.
Much better.
It was really gross down there.
Yes, it was.
Ew.
Like octopus.
I know, it's so gross. Yeah.
Doesn't taste very good.
No, it tastes pretty gross, actually. I brought some up, and you see that he has a little vial of that dirty, nasty water.
Why? Why did you feel like you didn't bring that?
This water is ancient. There's bound to be stuff in here we don't even understand. I could use this for a ritual. You don't understand. I love you, Natsu.
Love you too, like.
You guys exit the cave. You're back out into the water of the canyon, and you climb back up. So you're kind of adjacent to that bridge, and you can see once you start to climb up that there's actually a whole bunch of people standing there. They all, Natsu, you recognize immediately that they are all part of the rebels.
And this is not a flowing canyon. This is a stagnant canyon.
Yeah.
All right.
And they pretty much must have seen you go in and were just waiting up top.
So we're gonna have to deal with them eventually.
There's a whole slew of them there. One of them, the woman, steps forward, and she, I don't remember what she was.
We have to be on this side of the canyon for the next warp. We can just swim and cross.
If you want to jump in, I guess you
Well,
could
this is the
go
same
for
canyon. This is the new water canyon. Why would they be there?
It's like the neutral territory, so to speak. This part of it. The canyon went down a ways.
Oh.
Yeah. For the most part, most of this giant canyon is going to be behind the village that you guys had come from. Only this small part actually goes under the bridge. And like even they will know that it's, for the most part, it's going to be part of that village.
So they still have access to water then.
Give me a hand.
They might as well not. Like it's not in a convenient or safe location.
So how are they fucking there then?
All the ones that you see here are like dressed for battle. They probably just stumbled across you.
Uh-huh.
But there are many of them. You could see dozens that are right here before you, and you see a small little, almost like a hidden camp that they've set up over there. And everybody appears to be dressed in all the armor and weapons that they could possibly carry. And the woman, she's also a feline humanoid, so she's got, gray fur with whiskers. It is because of you. Yes, you. You have cost us, Naveen and Kari.
I didn't cost nobody nothing. I suggested that they were telling me that there was a war between two nations, not that it was his own people. I kind of piece this together as it's going along. When I had my friend, I saved this villager. Oh. We did what we could.
You did
And let's show how to speak. And I killed the general, because he had them sent to kill us.
The soldier next to her starts laughing at your beak puppet, and then immediately covers his mouth as she looks to him with the most stabful eyes, like I will stab you right now.
So without his main general, you could probably take over that rather easily, because this guy sucks. He actually does stuff. He was really good. He almost killed all of us, but we killed him first.
You expect me to believe that you were recruited by accident and helped them unknowingly?
They had my buddy Zane. Isn't that true, Zane?
Not linked directly.
He's
You
a
can
tyrant.
roll diplomacy.
He's a tyrant and a very not nice man.
Their ways are sly and tricksy.
Can
I
add
don't
two.
trust those assholes for a second. I plead absolute ignorance, for I was not conscious at the time.
18.
I believe you.
We're not looking to harm you. I mean, I was actually really, really disgusted, but he wanted us to stay there. And we're like, no, we gotta do stuff. Sorry, maybe path will cross at some point. But, yeah. And then he sent his general to kill us, but we killed him first.
I believe what you say. And perhaps in exchange for your aid, we will let you go unscathed. I want you to draw a map of the village, their layout, fortifications,
No problem.
Fun and done. I grab a stick.
Yep.
Start drawing
Yep.
shit.
I'm gonna add some things. Teddy, feel free to add stuff.
You just see him draw like his house and add windows and a chimney to it.
Yeah, so we made this big elaborate map. Good?
And in the window, you see
Wait, what up?
me making pancakes.
I'm also gonna draw like the throne room and where each guard is usually posted, and I'm gonna put in like a little note like, what's his face is a liar when playing poker. I think all the intel will write on the side of this map of all the little nuances we figured out.
It's just all the facts about people.
Absolutely everything that we could possibly give.
Okay, so you guys spend like a good half hour drawing up this.
Just selling this whole thing out.
Is that good enough?
She's very impressed. You can tell just from like her look that she's like, this is much more than we needed. And definitely not what we asked for.
Oh, this what?
No, like it's more than they asked for.
I mean,
Where are they keeping Naveen and Karik? I do not see them on your map.
they actually killed them, unfortunately. But they were still alive, kind of dangling there when we left, so I mean, they could have...
Naveen.
It didn't look like they got their necks snapped, you know, in the first, like, the snap of the neck. They were squirming, so...
You see tears roll down her face.
I'm really sorry. We couldn't do anything. They had a whole perimeter. There's really nothing we could do. Or they'd kill us too.
I understand. The man, Roarwin.
I'm still looking at this person in awe 'cause I've never seen a lioness. Bipedal. Fucking on feet and shit.
Yeah, I guess actually you have not seen one. Okay. Yeah, she's.
I almost want to like reach out and touch one of her whiskers.
Are you going to?
Yeah, just real like. Oh.
It's like while she's speaking that you do it, and she's like, what?
He's never seen one of you before.
She like just keeps speaking, like while you're doing it, just kind of like awkwardly tilting away.
He doesn't know he's special.
I appreciate the help you have done for us so far, and in exchange, I shall let you go with your life.
I appreciate that. You're not gonna send an assassin after us, are you? I hope not. You don't seem like those type of people.
We are not like
Maybe kill the
Roarwin.
last one.
We are not like Roarwin and his generals. We want to free the people, not enslave them. It is regrettable that you helped the wrong people.
I know, I'm sorry. Tell Rowan, you know, when you eventually, you know, do your thing and everything, tell him, his general thinks he's your gods. Do you want to speak?
May I?
Yes, here you go.
She takes the beak. I will return it to him.
Be sure to tell him that you killed him, because that'll make a big deal, I think.
Hi, Kara.
Hello!
Hello, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. How are you, darling?
I'm good. I have a vision.
I'm a vision.
A spirit floats past, providing caffeinated beverages, describing itself only as a vision.
Where did this beverage come from? Magic.
They all lower their bows from you guys, and you know they stead their weapons.
I'm gonna bow very low. Like, I'm really sorry for everything.
She bows a little lower. She says, "I am very grateful for your help. We are not royalty here. We are equals. There is no need to bow."
I'm gonna give her a hug. I'm really sorry.
She hugs you back.
I don't feel any such empathy or anything. I'm still more amazed that it's a feline. I'm gonna like scratch behind her ear. See what happens.
Lee goes up and hugs her after Natsu. Teddy like hugs her too. I don't know if you actually want to walk up to her. Everybody else did.
I have a quick
Give her a hug
question.
and a nice little scratch behind the ear.
She lets you scratch her behind the ear. She doesn't stop it.
Do you know Teddy's parents?
The boy does look familiar.
He's 6. I don't know if he was maybe young.
I'm sorry. I knew many faces while I was there, but
Oh, how about this? I'm gonna show her a picture.
oh yes, Ricardo and Jen. Yes.
Is that your mommy and daddy, Ricardo and Jen?
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna give him a hug and I cover his ears. What happened?
Well, you see, when we first began to flee from the village, Roarwin meant to immediately put down our uprising. He would not let us leave, saying that we were his property and his labor for the kingdom. Well, most of us were managed to escape, but, well, Jen, she did not make it. Ricardo was gravely wounded. He is back at our base, very, very hurt. They had tried to take their young boy Teddy with them, but when Jen was killed, he had fallen. We did not grab him in time, and we feared the worst, but I am glad he lives.
And he's in good hands. Can you, I'm gonna undo Teddy's ears. Teddy, your dad's alive, but he's injured. Just so you know, your dad's still out there. Yeah? Would you rather go with him or you want to stay with us? You wanna go see him? Or we can let him heal and just give this nice lady, you know, our names and stuff, and she can look us up. I mean, you're gonna be equally in danger wherever you go at this point.
And he just like collapses onto you and nuzzles him.
Okay. Can you tell Ricardo that I'm keeping his son safe? And when he does make a full recovery and you guys do finally get back everything, look me up. I'll have his son.
Yes.
Keeping him safe.
I will let Ricardo know.
Oh, and by the way, one of the last wishes of one of your men that went is he needs to die and suffer slowly.
The Roarwin?
Yes.
He most certainly shall.
And when you're torturing him, give my regards. Fucker.
Very well. Alas, let me give you something for your troubles.
Famous truth serum up his ass.
She's handed a pouch that has gold in it, and she drops it, like, in your hand.
No, I can't accept this.
It is the least I could do.
I've already done so much to harm you guys. You guys can keep
To
going.
reach in and swipe it.
Hey!
I can accept that.
No, stop it!
The pouch contained 50 gold.
He sucks. I'm really sorry.
Thank you!
Hey, did you believe me?
I'm gonna give her a hug again.
You're generous indeed.
I'm gonna give her a hug again. Like, really, I wish you the best of luck.
And to you as well.
Okay.
Hopefully when next we meet, we have returned to our home, our kingdom.
I'll make this little bad boy a warrior, too. So hopefully you'll have another warrior.
She, like, goes up and she, like, pets his head.
You will truly be your father's son, should you become a great warrior.
And then they
I
pack,
got me a Padawan.
they pack up their camp, and you can see that they mosh on towards the village.
Or I'll do
Yeah, whatever.
Where does it go?
Nope. Wrong key.
It's 4 nuts.
No, I think that's a commercial.
All right.
Moving on.
It's up to you guys. You ready to keep going? You want to stop for the day? It's up to you.
I don't care.
Yeah, the pup just showed up and she's a bit rambunctious.
Okay. All right. Hey man, it was good seeing you, you beautiful tiger. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, that was... Love you, Mom. Yay! Hey, pup.
Hello, puppy. Oh, goodbye.
All right, man. Good seeing you.
He gets all paranoid. Like, where'd he go? He was supposed to come in.
He tricked me. Alright, man. Well, thank you for playing. You did awesome. I was actually expecting your character to die today, but it worked out. So,
Yeah, I'm very happy about the way today turned out. It was one of the more successful crawls, as opposed to a few times ago where I fell probably 3 different times.
well, you guys avoided every trap and evaded the only battle.
That's what wasn't the only battle.
Well, the only battle in the dungeon.
That's how I like it.
I went in there thinking, water temple, shit's bad.
That's how I want to go in. I was like, oh, damn.
Water temple.
And now you guys have 4 out of the 5 stones Lee needs.
Yeah. And then I get the map. Y'all can take off and I want to get rich.
Yes, exactly that. If you can recover more of the orbs, and by yourself. That might be tricky.
Hold up, I can do that.
Sounds like a whole bunch of solos coming up.
Could be. Actually, that could be Zane's little solo sesh. Maybe he runs into a dwarf that eats infants. Who knows?
That's another character of mine.
Huh?
That's another character of mine. One of my characters eats babies.
Eats babies.
Yep.
That's delightful.
Yep, he's a dwarf that eats babies. It's awesome.
He's an abortion doctor.
Yep,
He's like, you are not a dwarf, baby.
No, he's actually a abortion doctor.
What?
Tell him.
How did that come up?
Tell Josh
I'm
about
the
it.
only dwarven abortion doctor.
It's because I used to create them and then take them away. All over town.
Nikki doesn't enjoy playing with Steven and his now fiance Shannon. So, like, whenever she plays with them, she pretty much just acts ridiculous.
It's
And-
because they take too long to do things. And they're very tactical and, like, want to talk, like, 15 minutes about what they're doing. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go in. Oh!
Well, that's
I'm gonna eat your baby.
that's why Dragonoff is loud, obnoxious, rambunctious, and just they had the opportunity in their session to like ambush this group of bandits. Like the only time ever players had the upper hand. And Steven's just like, oh, if we go like this, then we'll take them all out in one move. And Nikki's just like, I'd rather jump down from cliff and attack. Ah!
That's awesome.
And I had that accent too. I'm going to go down and go, ah!
And that's exactly what she did. Immediately gave away
Get in the chopper!
Exactly.
gave away their position, ruined the ambush. Like Steven and Shannon were still like, oh, we'll be tactfully up here. And there's Drogon down there, Drogonoff.
Yep, just like, ha ha, ha ha! And who killed most of them?
You did.
Me.
I think Shannon was in trouble the whole time.
Yep.
And I know Steven ended up getting pretty much eaten by a werewolf at one point. They were camping out overnight, and he heard like a howling in the woods, and he was like, oh, I just want to go and I want to like befriend a wolf. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, alright, I like where this is going. I was like, are you going to tell anybody? He's like, no, I'm going to sneak out of camp. Okay, it's entirely up to you. So he like sneaks out of his friendly camp to go into the woods where he encounters, you know, like a whole group of wolves led by a werewolf. So the wolves kind of circle around, the whole pack does, and he challenges the werewolf to become the new alpha. And this werewolf just tears him apart, like just... And that was where we ended the session, because I hadn't decided if his character was going to be totally dead or just, like, really hurt.
Aimed and then left for dead.
Yeah, so we left it...
I don't think that group of wolves would leave such a delicious carcass alive.
I left it at that, because I was like, you know what, it depends. If Steven's going to be the player that's like, hey, if my guy dies like a stupid death, I don't want to play anymore. Because I get that.
What?
Oh, you're like that all the time. You told me today that if anything happened to Teddy, you would rage quit and never play again.
Why would you make a 6-year-old? It's going through dungeon.
He presents them, and I'm like, hey, I like you!
I'm not the one that brought this 6-year-old into danger.
No, you brought the 6-year-old into the world. If it was a 16-year-old, I wouldn't be as obligated.
You know what? You had an out today. I gave you an out. You could have let that kid go back to his father.
No, he wanted me.
He did.
I'm gonna trade him up like my Padawan.
And you made the selfish choice of taking him with you.
He would have been in danger either way.
Either way, you're right. One of which leads you going into dungeons with a 6-year-old on your back.
He's gonna get good.
That's what you said about Lee.
And didn't he get good?
Didn't he get taken to hell?
Look at him. He's good. He's an amazing cleric.
He is a pretty badass player.
He's a really good cleric. Well, like I told you guys, he gave up being a battle cleric to just go straight, like, healing and rituals. So he knows a whole bunch of really fucking weird, like, incantations and stuff. Like the air bubbles, and he knows how
But apparently he doesn't know what he has in his arsenal until someone suggests.
He's an NPC. I can't do that stuff. You guys gotta come up with the ideas.
But you can't deconstruct water.
Pretty cool. I like that.
No, he doesn't have the spell or ritual to deconstruct water.
It's bullshit.
He didn't read that one yet. He showed you his book. He's not that far along.
Yeah.
But burn the ceridium underwater. It'll disassociate the atoms and like steal the oxygen.
Exactly.
Whatever, it was a good idea.
It was a great idea. It would have been very impressive if you tried to use your flares of the sun underwater.
Why?
Because it would have, like, not obviously burned, but it would have evaporated a lot of water, so it would have created, for a very short stint, it would have created, like, a pocket of air where you were burning.
Oh, I should have maybe roared that. Just like, that's like an at-will miner.
Yeah, but then that would have definitely, like, alerted the Grek. You know, you're displacing a large quantity of water. It's a blast 5. That's like 10 squares that evaporate instantly.
That's a lot of water.
He would have felt that.
Yeah. Whatever.
I think we handled it quite well.
You did. I would have preferred if
You had
they
a double
attacked
crit
it.
on your hands, Mike.
I know. That's why you guys just fucking... great. You opened the strange thing that you have no idea what it was. Lost to time in a language forgot, and you guys just like, oh yeah, just press this.
You know what? It's common sense.
Yeah.
It's like that password outside of Moria. Friend and enter. Obviously, if you're a friend, you know the password. You speak the password, the door opens.
What a good dog. Nom nom nom.
Kitty.
Does your dog roll more crits than you?
Oh, it's not my dog. It's a friend of the family's dog. It's high energy, so hanging around her all the time is a little taxing. Oh, they're going to do a show, that's right. Excuse me, babysat, because they're going to do, what show is it, you know? Mamma Mia, on stage.
Yeah.
ABBA.
Who doesn't love some Mamma Mia?
So your puppy
Here
sitting?
we go again.
High energy puppy sitting. Sounds exciting.
Why does the dog keep showing us its butt?
No, she like, when she likes you, she like just sits on you.
And demands
Puts her
pets.
brown eye all over your leg.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, there's probably some food parts over there.
Hey.
I won't hold it against you.
Hey Josh, is Kara gonna play with us soon?
Yeah, is Kara gonna play with us soon?
I feel like that's a wedding gift. Night before, right after the
I mean, playing in person is always
rehearsal dinner.
better
Little bit of
anyway.
D&D.
Rehearsal dinner crawl? That would be ridiculous.
But playing in person is always the best way to play, and especially to introduce to the game, show you where all the numbers are on the sheet. It just makes sense.
Yeah, it would be best.
It could even be like a wedding themed session. That'd be nice.
Whatever.
And I know the perfect DM to do it.
Rich?
Adam.
I don't want to play.
I don't care. He's my best man. He does what I want. Stay before my wedding. He'll do it.
And it's my wedding.
I'll give him some time to plan out something.
Steven will be there too. These are all the people that have to be at the rehearsal there.
Shannon will also be there. We will have an actual big group. It'll be great.
We can't involve my sisters though, because
Good.
they annoy me.
And they're bad at the game.
They're bad at the game. This will be adult
They can
D&D
watch.
time.
No, they can't watch, because then they would have to throw in all their comments. And especially with, like, you and Steven being, like, two new boys around, they'd be, like, trying to show off and impress people. They're young girls, you know.
Well, they met Josh already. They didn't meet Steven. So
I
Josh
guess
isn't
so.
really a new face.
No, but Josh is an exciting face. He's an Alaskan face.
And Josh is an exciting face.
Yeah.
I saw an
See,
Alaskan.
It's excitement.
I saw an Alaskan license plate yesterday.
Nice.
Yep, he was driving a Fiat. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe car
Yeah,
insurance is
that's
cheaper in Alaska.
A
Yes.
long way to drive in a Fiat. They're out your way.
In my territory, not even
That's
up
like
here.
3 or 4 days. Like 12-hour days.